All right. Let's hope that everybody's with us. All right. All right. Welcome in. Welcome in. Did you guys all make it? We'll give people a chance to settle in. Welcome to Donna Adelson, Day 2, Part 2. We ended the stream because we were coming up on 12 hours of streaming, and we wanted to make sure that we had enough bandwidth to continue on. Let's just make sure this is all good over here. This stream is still live here. Yep, other stream seems to be working. No verdict yet. Verdict clock is still going. No verdict yet. Let me just make sure we're good over here. All right, we're still good there. And the clock is still going, so we didn't miss anything there. All right. How's everybody doing? We'll give everybody a chance. Yes, everybody made it. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So we're going to watch the jury go home now. No. No verdict yet. No verdict yet, you guys. All right, Abel made it. Fantastic. All right. Well past Charlie's verdict time. Yeah, he came in at 3 hours. So he came in at three hours. Or even under 3 hours. All right. So they're still in verdict. We're still in verdict watch. And we're going to get to someone give me back my shoe. So I'm so glad that you guys came over. Really, really appreciate you guys hanging with us and coming over. And all right, let's continue on. So we're going to go into Georgia Kappelman's closing statement. So just hold on a sec. I just want to make sure that we are indeed, everything is cool there. I just want to see when they come back.
Yeah, they don't just switch over until 8.
Oh, you know what we lost? Oh, wait. Can I end it here? Can I end the poll here? See if I can end the poll. Oh, yes, I was able to get it. All right, cool. All right, I was able to get the poll that we took. I didn't want to lose the poll. So that poll that we took, 351 votes. Okay, so we still have the vote going. How long will the jury deliberate? Tomorrow before end of day, 42% thought that. Tomorrow before noon, 38%. Before end of day today, 12%. So we're still going. And next week, 6%. So that's where we land right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up on Georgia Kappelman's closing. We are rewatching closing arguments from today. So we are. All right, so we're rewatching closing arguments from today, from earlier today. If you have any questions, we'll pin it as well. And yeah, let's get to it. All right. Oh, clock has stopped. We have a stop clock. Oh, shit, we have a stop clock. All right, sounds like we got a verdict, you guys. We have a verdict. Something's going on. All right. We can see you, Dwayne. I can see you, buddy. I can see you, Dwayne. They didn't give us much time. I mean, that was like boom. That was really, really fast. Alien. Game over. That was really fast. I'm surprised at how fast that came. But they usually they give people a chance to get into the courtroom. Kiki, I can't imagine how scary this is. All right, no sound yet. No sound yet. People are filing in. Yes, there's a verdict. Yes, 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 there is a verdict. Yes, Kelia, we have a verdict. We have a verdict.
Before the jurors are brought in and the verdict is published, I want to make sure everyone understands whatever the verdict will be in the case. I do not want there to be any gesturing or anyone making any movements that you either agree or disagree with the verdict. We are going to respect what the jury's decision is, and we are not going to subject them to any displays of emotion, whether it be from the gallery or the parties. If anyone believes they are not capable of following this instruction, I'd ask you to step outside at this time. Mrs. Adelson also as well, once the verdict is read, again, I'm going to advise you, do not have any displays of emotion as best you can. You are to control yourself. Do you understand?
All right, so he addressed the gallery and Donna. And Barry Adams, thank you. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that.
Please bring in the jurors. Please remain seated when the jurors come in this particular time. If the jury foreperson could please rise. Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
We have.
If you please can hand the verdict form to the bailiff. Having reviewed the verdict form, it is in its proper order. At this time, I will publish the verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1 of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself. Count 2. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 2 of the indictment. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Count 3. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 3 of the indictment. Solicitation to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. And it is signed and dated by the foreperson. One moment. Members of the jury, the bailiff will escort you to the jury room. Mrs. Adelson, while this was not the outcome I'm sure that you desired, there will not be any further outbursts in front of the jury. If you cannot control yourself, I am going to have to determine if you will be removed from the remainder of this process. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes. Yes.
Do you need a moment to collect yourself? Before the jurors are brought back in, we will take a brief 2-minute break. Please give her tissues if she needs them.
Judge, I'm reporting significant impact to the defense and to your honor.
When the jurors are brought back into the room, does the defense wish to have the jurors polled before they are discharged?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Please bring back in the jurors so we can conclude with their portion of the trial. Members of the jury, before I discharge you for this evening, I am briefly going to poll you concerning whether your verdict is unanimous at the request of one of the parties. When you hear your last name, please appropriately respond.
Sorry, guys, it's muted. So they're muting it because, you know, when you hear your last name, please respond. So it's muted right now. Yeah, it's muted.
To you before you are discharged, please listen carefully. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time and consideration of this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges that are enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in the jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for consideration of difficult cases. We have recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations, discussions, and votes should remain their private affair as long as they wish it. Therefore, the law gives you a unique privilege not to speak about the jury's work. Although you are at liberty to speak with anyone about your deliberations, you are also at liberty to refuse to speak to anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict or your deliberations may come from those who are simply curious, from those who might seek to find fault with you, from the media, from attorneys, or elsewhere. It will be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror. With that being said, I want to extend my thanks on behalf of the entire Second Circuit for your service in this matter. You are discharged. Have a good evening. As to the jury's verdict, with the jury having found the defendant guilty of the 3 charges of the indictment, is the defense asking for a pre-sentence report on counts 2 and 3. As to count 1, the penalty is statutory, and essentially there is no modification for it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, pre-sentence investigation and report is ordered by the court as to counts 2 and 3. As to count 1, is there any reason why we cannot proceed to sentencing on this matter?
Your Honor, we would request an opportunity to ensure that our client is okay before we proceed to sentencing. It's my understanding that Charlie Adelson wasn't sentenced right away. We're asking for the same courtesy.
Very well. The court then will set a separate sentencing date.
May I inquire whether the family members that are present would like to give victim impact now or at the future date?
Go ahead. It's fine. Right there in front of the lectern.
Watch your step. I'm gonna have you sit back.
If you please can identify yourself for the record.
Yes, my name is Ruth Mark.
That way, 'cause you're
Sorry?
I'm worried you're going to trip. Just
Okay,
that's fine.
I already did fall. My name is Ruth Markel.
You may give your impact statement, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge Everett. To the Honorable Judge Everett, my name is Ruth Markel. I am the mother of the late Dan Markel. I stand before you today to express the profound sadness and grief that Dan's family and I have endured since his tragic murder. We have lost a treasure. My son Dan's life was cut tragically short at 41 years old. For 11 years, we have been forced to a life filled with unimaginable pain and heartbreak. Dan's father Phil and his sister Shelley share in this unending sorrow. Dan was a devoted father, brother, and son. Dan's life was marked by his devotion to family, education, and community. He was a loving, caring, and inspiring person. His academic journey included studying politics and philosophy at Harvard University, earning a master's degree later in political theory from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem and Emmanuel College in Cambridge, and later going back to Harvard to get a law degree. Dan was a prolific scholar and did start, co-founded the influential Prof's blog. His energy, drive, and sociability greatly enriched the FSU College of Law. Dan's life was filled with passion, music, dance, sports, travel, and people. But of all my son's accomplishments, however, I am most proud of the devoted father Danny was to his two sons, Benjamin and Lincoln. Dan was present, loving, and supportive, always putting his children's well-being first. He regularly attended the boys' daycares, reading with them. His office was filled with their drawings, and his home, his living room, filled with their toys. Dan was the boys' hero, and they have been forced to grow up without a father. Dan's murder has shattered our family and caused deep, permanent pain. This was a particularly senseless crime, and the murder was particularly insensible. It was not revenge. Dan was a law-abiding and respectful citizen, an active father, and a living son. His life was devoted to teaching and helping others. The pain and suffering of Dan's murder goes well beyond other families, too. That is why I wrote the book, The Unveiling, a mother's reflection on murder, grief, and trial life. In my unrelenting grief, I turned to advocacy, to feel purpose, and to help others with these tragic losses. I have found meaning and comfort to connect with others who want to serve justice. To all the community of journalists, TV programs, podcasters, Tallahassee communities, and the allies who have put their hearts in keeping Danny's story alive, we are full of thanks. To law enforcement and prosecutors, our gratitude is beyond for their dedicated, careful perseverance in seeking justice for Danny and our family. If Tallahassee is known for football, Tallahassee should be known for the prosecution and for law enforcement. They have done an outstanding job. These extraordinary efforts underscore the brutal truth of our family's story. Danny's murder was orchestrated by his former mother-in-law, Donna Adelson, and other co-conspirators, and is a crime of cruelty. It is a murder of grief, a murder of selfishly prioritizing one's own desires over what is just or right. And at its core, this was a murder of convenience, so that one grandmother could live closer to her grandchildren. She killed their father and ripped the children from the other grandparents' lives. Donna Adelson's crimes against Dan began long before his murder. She belittled Dan in front of his children. She spread lies about it and contributed to a brutal separation between Dan and Wendi. She rented the house, and Dan came home, and he found that Wendi and the boys were gone with most of their belongings. He called this devastation Pearl Harbor. Donna's eagerness for Wendi to divorce Dan and to relocate to South Florida led her to increasingly devise desperate schemes. Despite these efforts, the court ruled that Wendi could not move the boys away from their loving father. Failing to achieve her goal through legal means, Donna finally resorted to orchestrating Dan's murder. She plotted, planned, and paid for his murder. Donna's crimes led to further devastation. Her middle son, Charlie, was convicted and sentenced to a life in prison for his role in facilitating Danny's murder for hire. Can you imagine a mother involving a son to complete a murder? Donna's eldest son, Rob, an honest and decent man, is estranged from the family, and her younger child, Wendi, has decided once again to relocate to another state. Her actions and those of her co-conspirators have caused children to lose their parents. Catherine McManus, Freda Garcia, and Charlie Adelson, also convicted, are all convicted for life and have lost access to their children. Prior to her arrest, Donna's recorded phone calls with Charlie reveal their lack of a moral compass or capacity for self-reflection. She blames external forces for her family's curse. They're outside of her, but she is the curse, and lashes out angrily at witnesses who took the brave step to testify. Her modus operandi has always been to run from Tallahassee and then to try to flee to Vietnam. For our family, there is no such prospect for escape. Danny's absence, and that leaves a hole at the center of our lives, no matter where we go. Yet Dan's murder was not enough for Donna. His death was not enough. Danny had to be fully erased from his beloved sons. The boy's last name was ever changed, an extraordinary decision to excise the Markel name from Phil's only grandsons who shared his last name. And after the first arrests were made, Donna didn't allow the Markel family to have access for over 6 years. It was only when there was a phenomenal Tallahassee advocacy group that passed the Markel Act. The passage of this bill was immediately followed by our first invitation to see the boys after the arrest. The door only cracked open. Despite these efforts, we remain excluded from the boys' lives. We were not at their bar mitzvahs or graduations. We have extremely highly choreographed visits and communications. We only wait for the day that Benjamin and Lincoln will visit their father and his grave in his father's history and his grave in Toronto. We want nothing more. The facts of Danny's murder, are difficult to swallow. The experiences Phil, Shelley, and I have been forced to suffer are profound as homicide survivors and victims of the criminal system. The lives of Danny's 2 sons, our grandchildren, were forever turned upside down by this crime. Benjamin and Lincoln were only preschoolers when their father was murdered, and now they are forced to confront and try to understand the unthinkable crimes of murder and the Adelsons' involvement. Our lives will never return to normal. For those who loved Danny and for those who Danny loved, there is no escape from the wicked effects of what Donna Adelson set in motion, carried out, and paid for, and for many years enjoyed the aftermath of. Donna Adelson has caused immense devastation and an untimely, undeserved murder through her actions. While no trial or verdict can ever heal the profound wounds caused by Dan's murder, justice must be served. I respectfully ask the court to impose the maximum sentence on Donna Adelson. Her lack of cooperation and remorse throughout the case demands justice, the justice that Dan's life and memory fully deserve. We are immensely grateful to the court for its careful and compassionate deliberation. Respectively, Ruth Markel.
Thank you, Ms. Markel. Are there any other victim impact statements this evening?
One more, Judge.
please could tell us your name for the record?
Good evening. My name is Phil Markel. I'm Danny's father. Judge Everett, I appreciate the opportunity to speak about the impact of Donna Adelson's actions on my families and the families of so many others. While this victim impact statement is addressed to you, Your Honor, it is also intended for the Adelson family, Harvey, Charlie, Wendi, and particularly Donna. I would like them to understand and reflect on the deep and irreparable damage they have caused. The pain that they have caused my family is obvious and permanent, but they have also caused lifelong harm to their own immediate family and so many other families and children around. Donna's selfishness, cruelty, and complete disrespect for human life, along with that of her co-conspirators, have left families forever broken. Louis Rivera, his children have no father. Catherine Magbanoa and Sigfredo Garcia, their children have no parents. Charlie Adelson, his son, Roman, has no father. Rob Adelson and his wife and their 2 children have lost their uncle and grandparents. Shelley and Ian, my daughter, their 3 children, my grandchildren, are left without an uncle and are separated from their cousins. Of course, their heinous and callous actions have left me, Ruth, and Shelley without our Danny, and Ben and Lincoln without their father. For anyone to commit such a cold-blooded, unprovoked act of murder is horrific. For Donna, someone who claims to care so much about Ben and Lincoln, her sun shines. Her actions are beyond comprehension. She has harmed forever the people she claims to have loved. In the Jewish custom, we have an expression to always wish others to live to 120 years of age. For Donna, I wish her to live to 120, alone in her jail cell. I wish that every day of her remaining days she thinks about the harm she has caused to so many, especially those 2 boys she claims to have loved so much. For these reasons, Your Honor, I ask the court sentence Donna Adelson to the maximum possible sentence. And my only short question to Donna, was it worth it? Respectfully, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Markel. Are there any other matters that the court needs to address this evening, Ms. Koppelman?
No, Your Honor.
With the PSI being ordered, the court will pronounce the sentence as to counts 2 and 3 after it's been completed. The parties have had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report and make any objections if they believe they need to. As to the 3 counts that the jury has found the defendant guilty of, I will adjudicate her guilty at this time, but the sentence will be pronounced as to the 3 counts at a later date. She is remanded for sentencing at this time. Lieutenant Henry, please notify the commander at the jail that the appropriate screening needs to take place to ensure that the defendant is in an area where she is not subject to any self-harm. For a case management date coming up, what would the parties request?
Ms. Dugan's October court date, Your Honor.
I believe that is 10/14. Is that correct, Ms. Dugan?
Yes, sir.
October 14th for case management at 2:30 p.m. That will be in the normal courtroom, 3B. Tricia, if you can make sure that the notice goes to DOC so they are aware that the PSI needs to be completed as soon as possible. Thank you. We are in recess at this time. We will reconvene on October 14th. Have a good evening, everyone.
Well, there's your answer to the question. Was she going to be able to hug Harvey? Yep, she wanted to.
For a trial call or case manager. Are we about 100 or there's no order of 200. In the morning or all day? All right. Well, have some time tomorrow. We'll figure some things out. Between the public defender and private. Some cases. Between public defender, regional counsel, and private. What's that? I was going to say, I think it might be closer to 300.
Most judges, there you go. This is very, this is why.
All right, we're going to stay here for any kind of press conference that they have. So we'll stay here. We'll stay here and we'll look for a press conference. So don't go anywhere. We're going to try and find a press conference. We'll stay here, but we'll look around for a press conference. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We're going to stay right here until we get a try and find a press conference for you guys. As long as they're live here, we'll be live, and hopefully we'll get. Oh no, did they pull it? All right, hold on. Hopefully we'll get a press conference for you guys. Checking a couple other feeds. Let's see. They haven't killed this feed yet. Sorry, that was poor. They haven't stopped this feed yet. All right, well, in the meantime, Donna Adelson found guilty on all 3 charges. Donna Adelson was found guilty on all 3 charges. First degree, guilty. Uh-oh. They lost it. They lost that feed. Doggone it. All right, maybe they'll come back. Hold on. All right, let's pull that up. We can end that. Let's see. Actually, that should be changed. That should be verdict. All right. All right. Let's hope they come back with that feed. Hold on, you guys. We're going to stick around. You know there's going to be a press conference somewhere. You know there's going to be a press conference somewhere. So let's just hold tight. They haven't ended the feed. They just went to color bars, so they haven't actually ended the feed yet. So we'll hang. We'll hang. We'll give it a good amount of time. We'll give it at least half an hour or so, 15, 20 minutes. All right. Marilyn, is Wendi on the run? If I was Wendi, that's two of her family members. Two of her family members now have been found guilty. So CTV has one. All right, let me get there. No, I'm there. I'm there. Where are you seeing it? It's Vinny's closing arguments. Who has one? All right, hold on a sec. Hold on. Give me a second, you guys. Let's see if we can find it. All right, they're just talking about she's found guilty, so they don't have one yet either. Their YouTube channel. All right, hold on. Let me try and find it. I'm not seeing it, you guys. Oh, wait, here, this is live. Okay. No, they're still they're going away. There's nothing there. I'm checking other places. Hold on a sec. All right, hold on a sec, you guys. Trying to find a press conference for you guys. All right, coming up, Dan's mother speaks out after, so let's... All right, they're going to a commercial. All right. CTV, WCTV. All right, hold on. Give me a second, you guys. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Give me 2 seconds.
I want to see him and connect with him, but in particular, the real respect is
For football.
Markel.
Okay, hold on a sec, guys. Got it right
The
here.
first trial happened.
Sorry for the audio. Just trying to get this together. Give me a second. All right, here we go.
In 2019, the second trial happened in 2022, and then one again in 2023, and now 2025. Let's listen into
Is
Markel
known for
family.
football. I think it's better known for prosecution and law enforcement skills and high standards of delivery of an excellent practice. Tonight, we have a lot of people to be grateful for. I've often said my life is full of two words: trauma and gifts. Tonight, I'll talk about, I said the trauma inside. The loss of Danny Markel is a great loss for all of us. And the gifts are all the people who've supported us, our allies from FSU University, the Tallahassee community, and all of you in the media, of which we've had tremendous support. Social media, podcasters, print, and all other aspects of helping us produce and deliver this very important communication. So thank you. We are grateful.
You mentioned the Markel Act in your comments, and I know so many people are wondering, will the Markel family be able to enjoy the protections of the Markel Act that is named for Dan?
Well, the Markel Act actually has, it's specific to, just to answer the question very specifically, it's part of having a civil or a criminal offense against the spouse of a person who has been deceased. We have had access because of the Markel Act. So as it was passed, it opened up. Wendi had invited us to the bar mitzvahs. We had a little bit of an opportunity to have communications and so forth, but they're highly choreographed. It's not a natural process. We're looking for when we can communicate via email, via phone. We have everything is done still through Wendy's devices, let's call it, and time frames. So we're looking for that more natural opportunity.
Ms. Markel, do you believe that everyone who participated in this crime has been held accountable?
I'll let other people in my family talk about that.
Okay.
First of all, just one little side thing. We were originally invited to the first bar mitzvah, and then we were disinvited from it. So just to clarify. My comments. First of all, I'm very, very grateful to the jury. They were very attentive. I watched them carefully. They listened. They obviously analyzed and came to a just decision. We're grateful to the judge for his patience and his guidance, and everybody followed the law, etc. We're grateful to all of you guys here. I can't begin to tell you. I always, to me, journalists were never, they're into just to post stuff in the papers, TV, or whatever. But you guys have really, it's been 11 years. You've supported us. And because of you, this case never went cold. And I can't believe people stop me when I'm in Dillard's or I'm in the wine store or in a restaurant. My claim to fame, unfortunately, is I'm Dan's dad. But it's so heartwarming to see this community, the people, and because of you around the world, there aren't enough words to tell you how grateful we all are. This is, even though it's a joyful or I'm happy decision that's come out, it's still very, very difficult. And we still don't have the full access to the boys that we'd love to have. They're very, very controlled, very short, and very far and few between. And it's, we just want anybody and everybody who had anything to do with Dan's death brought to justice. And until that day happens, I will not be fully happy individual.
And Phil, one of the, I think it's safe to say, one of the star witnesses in this trial was Rob Adelson. What was it like for you to watch him up there testifying for the government?
Rob Adelson and I we actually haven't seen each other for a long time, but we do communicate via text, telephone, etc. He is an incredible individual. How this guy happened to come out of this family is beyond my understanding.
I think we respect his bravery and his courage in doing what he did, and we really, will be very honored to see him and connect with him, but in particular, we really respect his courage. Phil or Shelley, did this one feel good? You had the hitman who prosecuted.
And again, right now you are looking at kind of a press gaggle with the Markel family. Phil, Dan's sister Shelley, his mom Ruth Markel, talking again about how grateful they are that justice has been served today.
More of a tone of gratitude in that media gaggle than the victim impact statements we heard moments ago inside the courtroom. They've made many trips to Tallahassee over the years because of these cases, and so they were expressing their support.
All right, hold on. We're going to go to another source. We're going to come over here to see if we can get some uninterrupted commentary.
Of helping us produce and deliver this very important communication. So thank you. We are grateful.
Ruth, you mentioned the Markel Act in your comments, and I know so many people are wondering, will the Markel family be able to enjoy the protections of the Markel Act that is named for Dan?
Well, the Markel Act actually it's specific to, just to answer the question very specifically, it's part of having a civil or a criminal offense against the spouse of a person who has been deceased. We have had access because of the Markel Act. So as it was passed, it opened up. Wendi had invited us to the bar mitzvahs. We had a little bit of an opportunity to have communications and some visits, but they're highly choreographed. It's not a natural process. We are looking for when we can communicate via email, via phone. We have everything is done still through Wendy's devices, let's call it, and time frames. So we're looking for a more natural opportunity.
Ms. Markel, do you believe that everyone who participated in this crime has been held accountable?
I'll let other people in my family talk about that.
Okay.
Well, first of all, just one little side thing. We were originally invited to the first bar mitzvah, and then we were disinvited from it. So, just to clarify. My comments. First of all, I'm very, very grateful to the jury. They were very attentive. I watched them carefully. They listened. They obviously analyzed and came to a just decision. We're grateful to the judge for his patience and his guidance and that everybody followed the law, etc. We're grateful to all of you guys here. I can't begin to tell you. I always, to me, journalists were never, they're into just to post stuff in the papers, TV or whatever. But you guys have really, really, it's been 11 years. You've supported us. And because of you, this case never went cold. And I can't believe people stop me when I'm in Dillard's or I'm in the wine store or at a restaurant. My claim to fame, unfortunately, is I'm Dan's dad. But it's so heartwarming to see this community, the people, and because of you around the world, there aren't enough words to tell you how grateful we all are. This is, even though it's joyful or I'm happy decision that's come out, it's still very, very difficult. And we still don't have the full access to the boys that we'd love to have. They're very, very controlled, very short, and very far and few between. And it's, we just want anybody and everybody who had anything to do with Dan's death, brought to justice. And until that day happens, I will not be fully a happy individual.
And Phil, one of the, I think it's safe to say, one of the star witnesses in this trial was Rob Adelson. What was it like for you to watch him up there testifying for the government?
Rob Adelson and I we actually haven't seen each other for a long time, but we do communicate via text, telephone, etc. He is an incredible individual. How this guy happened to come out of this family is beyond my understanding.
I think we respect his bravery and his courage in doing what he did, and we really, we'll be very honored to see him and connect with him, but in particular, we really respect his courage.
And Phil or Shelley can answer this. Did this one feel different? You had the hitmen who were prosecuted. You had Magbanawa, but now father to mother-in-law. There's a different kind of relationship between those two. To see her there getting found guilty, what was that like?
I have to think how to answer that question. It's hard. Each one is very gratifying, obviously, and we're happy with the results. This one hurts, I think, a little more because of who it is. I made a very short little speech, but I think what I did differently this time is the harm to families, not just only ours, but to everybody involved in this mess. And so many children without parents, without uncles, aunts, cousins, etc. It's so hard to understand. She was an educated individual. She was a kindergarten teacher. Where did this come from? I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure this out.
I was just going to add that there is a certain satisfaction in this verdict, despite the fact that anyone going to jail is a hard thing to imagine, and obviously it's emotional, but I would say there's satisfaction in this verdict, and I would say that we're hopeful, really hopeful, that this will open the door for the future generations to, connect, for the cousins to connect, for, rebuilding a relationship with my nephews, their grandchildren, my children's cousins. This is, we hope that this will shed light. This will be the sort of element of truth that will be there for them to see. It'll be on the record for those kids to know in the future, and we would, welcome the opportunity to reconnect.
And Shelley, what do you think Dan would say today watching his parents up there giving such eloquent, amazing victim impact statements, particularly Phil's last question?
I think he'd be really proud. Danny was one to do presentations. He was the, really amazing writer in our family, and I think his parents, would have made him very proud.
One question, what were the thoughts that went through your mind as you saw the defense strategy develop to kind of embrace the evidence against the daughter and the son, a mother, in essence, throwing their kids under the bus and acting as a prosecutor for the defense attorneys and calling Dan Markel Danny and all the stuff that they tried to embrace the evidence and pretend that they cared so much about what happened to Dan Markel?
Maybe those are better questions for the state's attorney.
Yeah, but I think the defense had to do their job, and I think that we have really looked at all the sides of the story, and thank you again. Thank you all.
We're very lucky that the state's attorneys and their team did such an amazing job in all of that. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you all for your
questions. Everybody.
A long day.
Thank you. Safe travels.
Thank you.
All right, there it is. The Markel family addressing the members of the media, including our Julia Janae, who we'll be talking to in a bit to get her reaction. She was in the
All right, now what I'm really hoping for is Georgia Kappelman talks. That's what I'm really hoping for. So we'll stick around just a little bit longer. Oh, and there she is. Hold on. I knew it. I knew she would. Georgia does not disappoint. All right, hold on.
They've won again. There she is, Georgia Kappelman. We'll hear what she has to say when we return.
All right. So they're going to make us wait. So, according to the book, The Unveiling, which Sinbad sent to me, my Canadian grandchildren, Shelley's 3, were often with me when we visited or hosted the Florida cousins. They were also cut off. So Aunt Shelley has 3 children. So there's the 2 boys on Dan's side, and then 3 children on Shelley's side, and thank you, Chris. Great timing. Thanks so much for you and Aaron. All right, so hang with us. We're waiting for Georgia Kappelman's interview. We love press conferences, so we're waiting for Georgia Kappelman's interview, which will be coming after bills are paid. JMS, Georgia's closing and rebuttal was so good. Denny Dawn, good to see you. This is a book that Sinbad sent to me. It's called The Unveiling. It's by Ruth Markel. Sorry, it's Ruth Markel. It's available on Amazon, I'm assuming, and I've been reading through it. I've been reading passages the last couple of days, showing pictures. So go check it out. Psychosaurus Rex, Georgia. We want Georgia. The name of the book is The Unveiling. The Unveiling. Name of the book is The Unveiling. As Stephen says, The Unveiling. Suber, how long to deliberate? We had like 3 hours, 3:15, 3:19, something like that. 3:19. Yeah, somewhere around 3:19, 3:15, somewhere in there. Yeah, just over 3 hours, and they were just under 3 hours for Charlie, I think. $23 on Amazon. Thank you, Sinbad. Really appreciate that. Cindy, the Markel, such a respectful class act. Agreed. Mrs. Baba Yaga, I'll never be able to look at white powdered donuts the same. I know, right? That's funny. Bravo, Georgia. 3 hours and 17 minutes. Yeah, so 3:17. Is that what we had? It's not exact. I'm certainly not going to say it was exact. 3:15 is easy to remember, but somewhere in that. Shore Life, I'm girl crushing on Georgia. Right on. Oh boy, we got some kitties getting crazy. All right, waiting for the feed to come back out of commercials, and then we'll get you back to. I hope a juror will talk. Kiki says, yeah, I hope they come talk to us. Hey, if any jurors are watching or listening, or if anybody knows a juror and they want to come on, please let them know. Sharon, you predicted 3. Okay, here we go.
Reacted to the verdicts.
All right, they're just talking about that. We'll wait till they come back out of their little.
To the Markel family, one of the themes that they had, both during their allocution, their victim impact.
Even the kiddies are happy with this results. Yep.
The court and afterwards was.
All right, come on. We want to get to Georgia.
Specifically for the team.
We want to get to Georgia.
Georgia Kappelman, she's the prosecutor that not only led the way this time around, but she was the attorney in the case against the hitmen, McBanawa, Charlie, and now Donna. And now she is addressing the media, including our Julia Janae outside of the courtroom.
Here we go. because we jumped the gun. We didn't let you take a moment and think about this and ask you about this. So before we ask you the question that's on a lot of people's mind, what's it like in this moment? What was it like to have this defendant be found guilty?
I think I just feel kind of honored to be able to deliver this win for the Markels. You know, we've heard so much about a win for the Adelsons, a win for the Adelsons, and everything that was lost in those efforts. So it's just been really cool to be a part of this win.
During one of the pre-trials, you said these trials that have become my life. It's a lot of trials at this point. Talk about what happens when you're a prosecutor and you have to continue to follow cases like this one.
Well, I mean, I do have other cases. People don't know that. There are other cases in this office. And I care about, you know, all of them, but obviously this has become sort of a part of my DNA after investing so much blood, sweat, and tears into this case and getting justice. So yeah, it's been an epic battle.
Was this one tougher than Charlie's trial?
I don't know. I mean, I'm older, so I think it is. I think everyone is tougher than the last. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, more time passes and there's more stuff. There's more phones. There's more records. There's more emails. So it's a lot to organize, and it's a lot of little pieces to try to put together and try to create something cognizable that a jury can follow and get their head around.
In Georgia, opening statements right out of the gate, Jackie Fulford appropriated Professor Markel's nickname, calling him Danny. A lot of people were upset about that. Did that bother you?
Not as much as it bothered some other folks. I understood what she was trying to do. It was not the classiest move, and I think she kind of realized that and seemed to correct that over the course of the trial. But yeah, probably not a great move.
And what about the amount of deliberations? It's roughly the same as Charlie, maybe a few minutes more, but not much. That surprised you? Because some people were predicting a longer deliberation.
A little bit. I actually lost. I thought it would be slightly shorter, but I was being pretty ambitious. But yeah, it wouldn't have surprised me if it had been more difficult for them, because it was a large puzzle that kind of had to be put together. But I guess they got what they needed and they knew what they had to do.
Will this be the last prosecution, sir?
You are asking the question. Why are you that guy?
Were you surprised by the defense strategy of throwing Wendi and Charlie under the bus? And was the adoptive admissions ruling something that you pre-planned or something that you all came up with at the last moment?
We had a few incarnations of how to deal with the fact that she had adopted Charlie's really ridiculous story previously, and we didn't want her to be able to distance herself from that and create a new, better defense, which she did seem to kind of try to be doing. So we did want to try to shove that on her and then, you know, try to explain that to the jury. Okay, here's this whole other defense that she already adopted, and it's complicated, and it has all its pushback that goes with it. So it did feel like a difficult minefield to wade through to be able to explain all that to the jury, but we wanted to make sure they understood that, hey, she's already committed to this defense that's a loser, and now she's trying to switch it up and go to this whole other place, and you've got to pick a lane. It can't be both. So I think that's kind of what we were trying to do, so hopefully we were successful.
It sounded like the new investigation developed a lot of crazy evidence, including y'all were planning to use some phone calls that you were not able to use at the trial. Is the sealing of this evidence going to be unsealed once now that Donna has been convicted, or do you know?
I don't know the answer to that. You know, yeah, I don't know.
And you cannot still comment, I guess, about
I think
the
not,
details.
since it's sealed, right? Yeah.
All right, no comments about.
Can you imagine it to be? But I don't think I should comment on it since it's sealed by the court
How
this
did you
time.
feel when you found out that Donna was not going to be testifying? Something tells me you were probably salivating.
I don't know about salivating. Yeah, it's not like I was gonna wow you guys with some amazing new stuff or anything, but I did put tons of preparation into that, so I was a little bit sad when I took my binder that had 110 tabs and packed it away. So yeah, I was a little surprised. She seems like somebody that would want to tell her story, but it gets trickier and trickier when all these stories are out there, and she would have had to navigate a lot of stuff to get up there. So I do understand why she made the decision she did, and I think it was a smart one, but I was kind of expecting her to testify.
What was the
A year ago.
evidence that you thought in this trial might have made a difference that when you came across, that you introduced?
I think the fleeing to Vietnam didn't hurt, especially since she denied it. She could have just said, yeah, I went to Vietnam. I didn't want to get arrested. But she didn't do that. She oversold, so that was helpful.
The VIN number and the planner.
Yes.
Can you talk about that? How did you guys find that? Was it an aha moment?
Yeah. Kind of dumb luck. That thing is so dense, and there's a bunch of them, so we've just been sort of perusing them, and somebody just stumbled upon it and had an aha moment.
What about Rob Adelson's testimony? How key was that?
I think it was important, didn't you? I thought he was so genuine, and what a guy to be able to do that. What a terrible situation for him to be put in, and to be able to rise above that and do the right thing. It's really impressive.
Did you all wait for this trial to put him on? Why did he not testify previously?
I just didn't want to do it to him unless I felt like it was absolutely necessary, and I really felt like we needed him in this one.
Georgia, does Wendi have reason to be worried tonight?
You said that word. That's a bad word.
A bad word.
No W questions.
Worry's a bad word.
Well, last time.
Should we say stay
worry.
tuned? Do we need to stay tuned?
You can stay tuned.
One other question for me. Your father played football. I understand. It was my first Knowles game, and I take all the credit.
Oh, it was a great one. Lucky you. Go Knowles.
And I found out maybe through the grapevine that someone else in your family is a professional female golfer, or that you're close to. I don't know if I'm about that. Maybe not, but do you get the...
It sounds cool.
Do you think you get that competitive spirit from your dad, from your family?
Yes, I think both sides of my family are extremely competitive, and if you came to game night, you would see some pieces being thrown around the room, and
The most important question, do you have a fifth red suit?
I don't know. I'll work on that.
Number 5 of 5.
I'll work on that for you.
Georgia, can I ask you about Charlie Adelson? Last year you were it seemed like the state was going to call him, and ultimately this time around no one called him to the stand. Why?
Because we didn't want to tangle with him unless we had to, and we felt like we were able to successfully get out the story that he told at his trial and marry Donna to it as much as we needed to without having to wrangle and tangle with him.
If I'm not mistaken, this was the first trial where you guys were able to access WhatsApp messages. Was there a new am I right about that? Was there a new technological
I can't
advance?
remember if we had any WhatsApp messages last time, but they are encrypted, so you really do have to get them off the device itself. So we were able to retrieve some threads from Donna's device.
From Donna's device.
Yeah.
Was your all's case more polished? The demonstratives seem to be up a notch from before.
Yes, that's because I didn't make them. I only directed. I did get some wonderful volunteer help, so I don't know if she wants a shout out or not, but. Yeah.
Were there other things that were new and improved? Some of the witnesses even seem to be testifying a little smoother than before.
I don't know. Did they? I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's a blur.
If the trial had come
it's
forward,
all one long day.
If the trial had come forward a year ago, you wouldn't have all the evidence from the new investigation. How significant was to have that note from Drina Bernhardt?
Oh man, I thought it was great.
All right, Georgia Kappelman, there she is. Boy, round of applause when she walked out of the courtroom. Let's bring our think tank. We haven't had any.
All right, so of course they're going to bring in their think tank. So 336 votes. Did the jury get it right? 95% said 100% got it right. Yes. 4% said no. All right, let's go with another poll before we go for the evening. Let's see. How long before? Well, first of all, we have to say, is Wendi next? Hold on a sec. Let me figure this out. All right, so quick poll before we leave for the evening, because I'm not sure if they're going to come back or not. All right, is Wendi next or is Harvey? New poll for you, chat. So is Wendi next or is Harvey? Wendi, Harvey, both, or never. I should have said neither, but you get the idea. So is it going to be Wendi, is it going to be Harvey, is it going to be both of them, or is it going to be never? Neither one of them. Again, I should have probably said neither. Yeah, they cut off. They cut off real happy. This is what they're talking. So maybe they'll bring Georgia back. We'll see. So is Wendi next or is Harvey next? Wendi, Harvey, both. I put never, but it's neither. Neither one. So what do you guys think? Who's next? I guess they can't do both at the same time. That's a poorly worded poll. All right, I'm excited. Who do you think is going to be next, Wendi or Harvey? We'll just go with that. Who do you think is going to be next? Salty Girl, I just want to say thank you for sticking with this trial and sticking with this all day long. I'm sure you're exhausted. What are we doing tomorrow? That's a great question, Salty Girl. And I am exhausted. We've been going for over 12 hours. We started at 8:30, so we are officially over 12 hours. We got to think about that. We have to think seriously about that. That means I got to make thumbnails and descriptions and all that fun stuff. So I don't know. It's Friday. Maybe we'll do an Ego Takes the Stand. We might do an Ego Takes the Stand just to kind of catch our breath and figure out what we're doing next. There's no new trials that have started. There is one that started, but it's on Court TV's website, so it's not on a YouTube channel. We have one that we want to pick up on Monday. We're hoping that gets streamed. So we have plans for next week. As far as tomorrow, we might do an Ego Takes the Stand. We might do an Ego Takes the Stand. Michelle, I love the show. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. Mike, it was good coverage. Thank you. Hate to say it, but you should take a day off. I know, right? Thank you, Michelle. We appreciate that. Ego Takes the Stand. Yeah, Nancy Brophy, she's part of the Ego Takes the Stand. So Suzanne, Ego Takes the Stand. Yeah, we might do an Ego Takes the Stand. Nomad, once again, thanks for your time and good night. Good night, Nomad. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Yeah, maybe we could do Nancy. We'll have to see how long she was on the stand. Chris, we deserve a long weekend. We had one. We were just off Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, so we had a long weekend. We've only been on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so it's funny. We've already had a long weekend. Amy, it's a new series. We've done 3 so far. And we basically, it's for when we have off, when court is off. Tomorrow is a perfect time, the perfect time to do it. So we've done 3 so far. Ali Abulaban was one. Robert Tellis was one. I forget the other guy's name, but it's basically when the defendant takes the stand, and we call it the Ego Takes the Stand. So it's when the defendant takes the stand. Nicholas Casotis would be perfect example. Robert Tellis, perfect example. So if Donna had taken the stand, that would have been a perfect example. So that's what the Ego Takes the Stand. So we've done 3 so far. So Rich, we're not no defense presser. We're not sure. They may be having one right now, and we don't know about it. That's the screwy thing about it. So. Sinbad, yes, Jim. Fur babies, let me pull that up. Fur babies, good night. Sweet dreams. Thank you. All right, yeah, our internet's starting to act up as well, so maybe this is a good time for us to say goodbye. Let me just wait till they come back from this break before we finally end up. Murdoch, yeah, Iowa. Murdoch would be a good one. Sarah Boone, for sure. She's on our list. Charlie, yes, Charlie could be a good one. Durst would be good, but he did the second one. They streamed his first one. We can't stream that. So we have to be able to stream it, but Charlie would be interesting. If you guys aren't sick of the Adelsons, we could do Charlie tomorrow. If you guys, well, we did Charlie, but that was on a deep dive. That was on a deep dive of we didn't do an Ego Takes the Stand though. The defense needs a moment before they can do anything, right? Jodi Arias we looked that up. We wanted to do Jodi. I think she was on for 17 days or 19 days. We looked that up. Already. Chris Mass, have a great night. See you tomorrow. Nick Casotis, I want to let that sit a little bit. I don't want to do that because that just happened. So Jennifer, I want to let that sit. I don't want to do that right away. Please do Charlie. We did Charlie for the Ego Takes the Stand. Aaron's saying we did Charlie already. All right, I guess we did one already. I'm like, hold on a sec. I guess we did one already. Have we done that many? Ego Takes the Stand. Oh, we did. We did Charlie already, you guys. We did Charlie. So we did Charlie. Yep. We did Charlie. All right, we already did Charlie. So we did Scott Nelson. Robert Tellis was the first one. Scott Nelson was the second one. Ali Abulaban was the third one, and then Charlie was the fourth one. We have a lot to talk about. I'm talking to Aaron. All right, hold on a sec. Let me just see. All right, it seems like the feed for any kind of pressers might be done because they're talking about CrimeCon now. We could do Wendi. All right, no, they're talking about tomorrow. Sarah Boone never disappoints. Yeah, we could do Sarah. Yeah, Ali Abulaban, he was the TikTok guy. He was the third one we did. That one, he was nuts as well. Nancy Brophy, yeah, she's on our list, Dwayne. She's on our list. All right, we got a few more minutes here. I'm going to end it. A woman, please. Yeah, we might do Sarah. We could do Sarah. Shabusiness, Jodi Arias. Yep, Wagner trial. Jodi's like 17 days or 19 days. It's ridiculous. How many words do I type a minute? Michelle asks. I don't know. I used to type 40, but that was like in high school. Maybe 60, something like that. Amy, a bunch of us have to watch Charlie now. Zach Hughes. Yep, Zachary Hughes. That was a good one, Amber. That's a good one. Isabel, goodbye to you. Yep, Vander Ark. Yep, she's on the list as well. We have her on the list. Let me see. Let me read the list for you guys. All right, Ego Takes the Stand. This is who we have on the list. Jodi Arias, Alec Murdoch, Nancy Brophy, Shanda Ark, Sarah Boone, Ali, which we already did, OJ we have down, Diana Downs, Robert Durst, Chris Dontel, Betty Broderick, that came from Fur Baby's mom. Maybe Betty. We might do Betty Broderick because we watched that documentary on her. We watched a documentary and we also watched that Lifetime movie or series thing the Johns or whatever. We watched that. Yes, you missed the verdict. Guilty on all counts. Guilty on all counts. All 3 counts. So Charlie Adelson we did, Richard Merritt, Danielle Redlick, and Tote. So maybe we do Betty Broderick. Fur Baby's mom suggested that. Maybe we do that. Michelle, you're new to the crime watching stuff, so there's a lot you haven't seen. Sarah, we could do Sarah. Could all use the laugh. Mike, I like Broderick. She's a train wreck. OJ was months. He was months. Yeah. Ellen, Betty Broderick is bonkers. We have it. It's there. You have so much to say about Betty that I think will surprise you. I do too. We watched that Lifetime thing, and we watched some documentaries on her. Durst was on the stand for a while. I'm not sure. So Betty Broderick? You guys want to do Betty Broderick? We could do Betty. Hold on, let me turn my phone back on. I'm going to wait until this they come out of this commercial break, and then we'll end it for the day. We'll see what they say. Broderick would be a good choice. We could do Betty. The Netflix docuseries. Durst is creepy. Yeah. You guys watched that. Oh gosh, what the heck was that? What's the Betty Broderick show or documentary? It's something about Johns. My phone's acting up. Hold on. Oh, Aaron's saying she's short. Betty Broderick is short. All right. It's going to be for tomorrow. We're gonna the Jinx. Yes, thank you. That's what it was. The Jinx. Yes, the Jinx and Dirty John. Aaron's saying it was Dirty John. It was on HBO. Dirty John. Yes, Suzanne. Dirty John. So there was a series. It was like was it five episodes or something? Yep. Dirty John. Ellen is saying yep. What was the Broderick about, the Netflix show? Oh, it was on Netflix. It was on Netflix, not HBO. And my feed is spinning. I'm not sure why it's spinning. We may have to end because my feed is spinning right now. Hold on a sec. Let me go back here. I don't think they're going to have any more, what do you call it? I don't think there's going to be any more pressers tonight. But let's see. Yep. So they've ended. All right. So they've ended the feed. So no more press conferences. All right, you guys. With that, we're going to say goodbye. Aaron and I will figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. So the Jinx is HBO. Dirty John is Netflix. So the Jinx was on HBO. Dirty John is on Netflix. All right. So with that, we put another trial to bed. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for being with us. We really appreciate you being with us. Thank you to our mods for a fantastic, job that you guys do. Thank you to Erin for all the work that she does on the back end for the verdict clock. Erin came up with that today. So on your way out, please remember to thank our mods and to thank Erin. And to all those that gave us super stickers, super chats, bought memberships, we really, truly appreciate all of that. And the poll. Let's end the poll. Let's end the poll. So our final poll for this trial. with 183 votes. 183 votes. Is Wendi next or is Harvey? Wendi, 87%, both 6%, Harvey 3%, and neither of them 2%. So that's our final poll. So, yes, verdict clock was awesome. Michelle saying thank you to everyone. Lily Wayne, thank you all for the hard work. And thank you, chat. Really appreciate it. And I always like to leave you with some kitty love before we go, because we do deal with a lot of emotional stuff. We got little Cheddar down there, little Roger Federer Cheddar there. We've got Super Ball back there. Dwayne, that's for you. Super Ball's back there. We got Riker just took off over there. Oh, here comes Polly. There's Polly. So, all right, you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And also, I can't believe I forgot. Yeah, you just reminded me, Kathy. You just reminded me. Yep. Donna Adelson. Outfitted in the, we need kitty love. Donna Adelson outfitted in the orange. That came from Sarah Boone's trial. Outfitted in the orange jumpsuit. All right, guys. Ellen, 3 a.m. You're signing off. All right, Dwayne, have a good one. All right, guys, have a good night. We'll determine what we're going to do tomorrow. We got to get some sleep, but we will determine what we're going to do tomorrow. Whatever it is, it won't be early. We'll do it at like 9:30 or 10. So don't look for us early tomorrow. We're going to take a little bit of time to sleep in. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. This ends our coverage of Donna Adelson for her trial. We will cover her sentencing. So please mark your calendars. October 14th. So a little bit more than a month, 5 weeks or so. October 14th, 2:30. Donna Adelson sentencing. So we'll see you tomorrow, and have a wonderful evening, you guys. And thanks for joining us. Bye.